tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads from over 200 countries and your number one source in after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey everybody, this is Extant AFTERBUZZ TV. Welcome back. We will be doing episode 11, A Whole New World. All right, you get it. Joining me today is Charlie Berens.
You got it. And it's actually... Is it a whole new world or just a new world?
It's a new world.
But that was close enough for us to play
it's
a
in
whole
my,
new world.
It's in my brain. Thank you for that.
Hey, I just got to get the facts
Hey,
right.
it's why I keep you here. You keep me honest.
Thank you. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do keep you honest. Let's get honest.
All right. So let's start off with general thoughts about the episode.
I want to kind of start at the end because that's such a crazy little scene that we were left with.
Yeah.
With the little alien body walking out. But
Right.
Maybe we can just talk about that at the end and
I mean, good. I mean,
with the...
You can give me your general thoughts.
Okay, general thoughts about this episode. I think it's it's definitely moving now.
Yeah.
We've now seen the being from afar, and I feel like seeing things in this. It like took us forever to see the baby, to know if that was a real thing, and just overall, you're starting to see recurring themes of family, obviously.
Yeah.
But then a new theme sort of emerges here, and that's with Yasumoto, and it's just like seemingly just selfishness. You know, everybody else has like a family incentive, like Sparks, Molly. But then there's Yasumoto, and it's just like, I want to live. It was crazy. It was like, I wasn't afraid to die at all. In the the cave,
yeah.
But now he just wants to live. I don't understand it.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, because they had the flashes of his wife and everything, so maybe in his mind, if he is able to essentially bring her back through this offspring, then he's actually fighting for her, not just to live, but to live long enough to see her again.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So you think those flashbacks to his wife are not just memories of his like last normal day, but that he will see her again?
Yeah, I think that's ultimately what he was getting at. Like, especially when he was talking to Molly, saying that like, what if you could live a life with Marcus again? And I think that is essentially his goal, is to like upheave death. Which kind of gives everything this, or at least everything involving this offspring, an idea of it rewriting history and bringing back the dead, which has been kind of like one of the other of many biblical themes throughout the show.
Yeah.
Because it's like a rapture kind of thing. This child comes and changes everything. The dead will rise and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. No, very, very true. And even the off-the-cuff comments from Yasumoto to John about, Joseph had a small role in Jesus, but he still had a role. Right. So a lot of different underlying things. And then the architect of eternal life is this alien. I think that's what I wrote that down because I thought it was kind of a cool way to say it. But Yasumoto's really banking on that because that dude is running out of time.
Oh, yeah.
And his serum, it's almost gone. Were you surprised by that story?
I was, I guess I was surprised. One, that like we actually got a backstory, because I thought they were just going to leave him in mystery the whole time.
Could have been better that way.
I mean, maybe, but I found that this kind of was an interesting way to make his character a thing, just because like, you put all the pieces together of, oh yeah, he's just like a super ancient, older being than we thought he was.
We thought he was a vampire for a while.
Yeah, I mean, he never goes outside.
It's true.
I mean, he still could be. That could be what all these aliens are. They're alien vampires. Crossing genres, man.
No, seriously. I mean, we've already got robots and aliens, so
yeah, why not? Just throw them in there.
What I find fascinating about them too, and sorry if I cut you off.
Oh no,
but
go ahead.
You're in a mine, you're in a big hole, and you see like this yellow goo, and it seemed like he didn't even think much about it. It was just his first inclination was to stick his hand in it.
Right.
Maybe a little far fetched.
A little bit, but again, if you're trapped in a mine and you're basically resolved to die, why not touch the goo? I mean,
you know what? That's true. In fact, especially if it's glowing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's your only hope.
It could either one, it could help you, or two, it can injure pain faster.
It's true. You know what?
You have nothing to lose.
Except your hand. If it cuts your hand off,
right?
Then you just don't have a hand, and you're.
It's like that scene in Prometheus where the guy is like going to touch the snake, and it like breaks his arm.
Talk about your all-time backfires,
right?
Yeah. This one didn't backfire though.
No, it actually helped him a lot. I mean, because you find out that he's been since that moment around for another 140 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
It's insane. And he's still going pretty strong. I mean, he's running out of goo, but I mean,
excuse me. I love how Molly has him in that room and she's talking to him, and she sees like the most like non-human thing possible happen. Like his veins just glow green, and she's like, "You're dying, aren't you?" You know, it's like, what? You're not going to question why they're green, or
right?
Did she get the idea that John holding that vial of whatever, that was somehow his magic serum?
I would assume so, because she had like he had mentioned that that Yasumoto's days were numbered. So I mean, you could assume that it was because of that vial was the only thing, because he's visibly aging. Like every time you see him from beginning to end of the episode, his hair is getting grayer, he's getting wrinkles, and he's slowly. And she thinks, before he tells his whole backstory, she thinks it's just like he's dying of an illness, like he has, I don't know, something,
yeah,
Ebola. We'll go with Ebola. Like he has Ebola. But I mean, it comes to light that he's dying because he's super old and his body can't keep up with the age.
Yeah,
the age.
Yeah, the age. Yeah, in this first season, he's aged like a president. You know, his hair was super black, and then in that last scene when it was over the show, I was like, whoa,
right?
Dude's got some white hair.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. What do you think about sort of John taking that serum? Do you think he actually switched the serum?
I think he did, because it was the smartest trump card to play. I mean, what else would he have done to substitute it?
I mean, there's some really interesting mustards out there. Like, the kids are eating, you know, they
Dijon
have
meteor mustard.
Yeah, precisely. You know, he probably found that in Yasumo's kitchen. That dude's got a pretty awesome kitchen, I would have to imagine. And he probably just has vials hanging around because, you know,
right,
his serum's in it. What if, you know, why does he keep the used serum, all the red ones?
I think that maybe whatever remnants that were left in them, he probably, I don't know, gives to the scientists to try to make the synthetic serum. Because we know that they are trying to recreate it. So I assume he uses as much as he can, and whatever's left, he kind of sends off. And it's also, he's a really nostalgic kind of character. Like, he keeps everything that he's ever come in contact with. Like, even the slab of granite that he was keeping track of how long he was in the mine for, he had that right above the serums.
Oh,
so
good eye. Good eye.
So I mean, I think that it's within his nature to just collect things and keep it for the sake of memories. And plus, if you're that old, it kind of is a reminder of where you've been and where you're going.
That's true. I am precisely 238 serums into this deal.
You don't look a day over 208.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's the new facial moisturizer I've been using. It really assists with the serum. Let's talk about Odin and Ethan.
Oh yeah. So I mean,
oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, well, we come into the episode, and Odin takes Ethan back to his house. It's all super nonchalant, and he's just kind of playing around. They're hanging out just like in the olden days.
They're broing out.
Totally.
They're doing their thing. He's playing the cool babysitter type thing.
Yeah. And then he starts seeding those little bits of doubt again.
Little sower of seeds of doubt. Odin.
He's really clever about it, though, which is really awesome. Like, I like that it wasn't just him taking Ethan back to the house and being like, all right, time to shut you down. It was like, no, before I do that, I'm going to make sure that you hate your dad and that you are prone to rebel, which is, I assume, his ultimate goal. Like, what do you think he and his followers, what do you think their intent is?
I mean, I'm having a hard time because he himself is part, his arm is part robotic or whatever. But I think he sees that these guys have so much potential, and obviously he put a detonator in them, so he wants them to. And I'm not really sure why that's the case yet. I feel like this week we got Yasumoto's backstory.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to get more of Odin's backstory, and hopefully that will have an answer to it.
I'd hope so.
But just in general, that sort of fear of the unknown would be my best guess.
Right.
Ethan kind of creeps me out, to be quite honest. I can't say I wouldn't be putting a detonator in him too. The way he killed those birds in the first couple episodes.
Allegedly.
He killed them.
Allegedly.
Adrian's not here. She would get super mad at me.
Yeah.
If I was
Here,
saying
I'll
whatever.
play Adrian. No, he didn't do it. He didn't kill those birds.
Adrian, he killed the birds.
No, it was dead. There are a lot of birds that have to do with this alien. I don't know if you've noticed, but
that's
every
true,
time
I
the
have.
aliens are a thing, there are always birds. So they probably died on their own.
Maybe you're right, Adrian.
So, yeah.
Sure.
Thanks.
Okay.
And scene.
And done. Yeah, see, and I would have agreed with her because she also has a very forceful way of saying things. She's watching. We're not just talking about her when she isn't here.
She's out sick, for those who don't know, which is all of you because you're not either one of us. But she's out sick, and Monis also couldn't join us this evening.
He's out.
So send your love and your well wishes and all that jazz.
Yeah.
But
do you want to keep talking about Odin and Ethan? Did you like that subject, or did you want to move on?
I love that. I just wanted to say that nope, I'm done. I'm done with that subject. Forget it.
Okay, well, actually, I wanted to say one more thing on that. So you have a detonator in Ethan.
Yes.
And then you make Ethan not like his parents, so he's going to run away from his parents. Where are you going to blow him up, and why?
I think that if I were orchestrating this plan, I would make it so that he essentially does it maybe in the lab, or because rebelling would
in Yasumoto's lab,
right?
And Yasumoto's girl, who I don't think Yasumoto knows is hanging out with Odin on the side, could know when Ethan is in the lab.
Exactly.
It's getting into predictions territory.
It is.
We won't go there yet.
We're theorizing ideas. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying it could. So, I mean, that's that. And we'll go into predictions because I have assorted predictions for that one.
Okay.
But before we move on to the big running through line of like Molly and Sparks and Kearns and stuff, we're going to take a minute to talk about iTunes. Guys, we love what you're doing. All the comments, we read each one of them. I will respond to them as much as I can. I love that you're tweeting us and giving us 5 stars on iTunes, and we ask that you keep doing so. So go to iTunes if you haven't. Leave us a comment. Slap us with 5 stars if you believe we're doing an amazing job. If we're not,
do it anyway.
Yeah, do it anyway. Really,
cool.
I mean, what is it gonna hurt? Yeah. And if there's something that you think that we can improve upon, just let us know, and we will work on it. We are a living, growing being, and we're always trying to improve. And in that regard, I would also advise you, and by advise, I mean, hey guys, we have a survey. Like that segue?
That was nice. That was really good.
Thank you. We have a survey on Podcast One. That's podcast1 podcastone.com, and it's a way of it'll only take, I don't know, 3 minutes of your time. It'll help us know how we're doing and how we can best improve to serve your needs. I mean, we're putting out like 70 shows a week, and it's a lot of metrics to go through, and we'd like your feedback. You mean a lot to us. That's why we're here. I mean, no one's forcing us. No one's putting a gun to our face to be here. We're here for you. And so we would just like a little bit of your input and see how we can do our best. Anything?
Whatever it is, give us your 2 cents. We'll read it. It's kind of like when you're in grade school and then your teacher hands out the survey at the end of the school year, and they're like, don't worry, you don't need to write your name on it. We're not good. This won't affect your grade. And you're like, great, this teacher sucked. Well, if that teacher just handed out those surveys in the middle of the year and had time to improve, that's kind of like what it is.
Exactly. So get those teacher evaluations ready at podcast1.com. And cool. So that's a thing. Please go and please take the survey. And now, time for Molly, Kearns, and Sparks. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
All right.
You sound like you really want to talk about this. Go for it.
Yeah, like we come in and they're still in that cabin area. They are hanging over Krieger's body because he's dead.
Yeah.
I
was not sad at all about that. Well, I don't think Molly was either. I don't think those tears were real.
I don't think so either. It was
alligator tears.
You get sad when you see a person die. I don't think it was just like
Krieger just tried to kill her like 2 episodes ago. Like, sorry, Molly, I'm trapping you in this door. And then like 2 days later, she's crying because he got capped.
Right. But at the same time, they had been through the same thing. It's like they were both in AA together, but it's like Aliens Anonymous. And then, your fellow AA buddy gets shot in the face.
Yeah, but after your fellow AA buddy locks you in the room with said alien, that would probably kill you.
Hey.
All I know is I wouldn't be crying.
Aliens Anonymous members aren't perfect.
They go deep.
Yeah.
Right?
They're flawed individuals, and they're just working to be better people. But yeah. So we leave Krieger, and Molly hits up Yasumoto and is like, hey, you should stand down. If you don't stop pursuing this baby, then everyone is going to die. And Yasumoto does not heed her word and sends all of the troops after Sparks and her and Kearns. And what happens, Charlie?
Well, the alien's reach is pretty extensive. Gets hold of, a fat trucker, a sniper, and the sniper goes to town on Yasumoto's men. Yasumoto knew it was going to happen. And then what I love when they've got the radios on the other group of snipers who now have Molly and what's-his-face trapped. Mm-hmm. And Molly's like, you guys better let us go. My baby is going to kill you. And then they hear over the radio that he does, and they just abandon post. It's just kind of... It's kind of comical.
It's a smart move. Like, you see all your friends dying, which is sad, but I mean, like, no one wants to die, and like even in the line of duty, which is, I don't even understand who these people are. They're like a private army for Yasumoto.
They're like Yasumoto's Blackwater,
right?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, at that point,
I don't even know where the government is in all of this. Is there a president in this world?
I would assume so.
I feel like Yasumoto's the president and the king of the world.
Right.
In this world.
I mean, he's been around long enough. He could have his claws into everything.
Yeah, isn't there an extensive Google thing here? Can't someone just Google Yasumoto and be like, dude's 140 years old?
Right?
What?
There's all these
I'm not working for
him. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. That was confusing. Shockingly, I got us off track. So where were we again? Sparks, Molly, and Kern.
Yeah, so Sparks escapes, then Kearns and Molly go on pursuit. Go ahead.
No, so you have a bunch of like dead, heavily armed men around you.
Yeah.
You're pursuing somebody is also heavily armed and very willing to pull a gun on you, that being...
Sparks.
Yeah, Sparks.
Yeah.
And you don't pick up any of the guns. I mean, they're walking into that diner unarmed, and they don't know if Sparks is around the corner with his pistol.
Yeah, it was a poor moment of judgment on their part, especially for Kearns, because I would have imagined him being the first one to grab a gun.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't think Molly is in that frame of mind, because for her, I think it's more like, if I grab a gun, like, does that mean I'm going to shoot my kid?
True.
Does that, True. She's more about finding her child, which is why I like that conversation that she has with Kearns about the motivations behind the child and what its ultimate goal is. I know I'm skipping ahead.
Dude, let's talk about that, because that was a key conversation. Why is Molly pursuing it? Is it that she just so much so wants to be a mother?
Yeah.
Or is it that the alien needs her?
Right. And I highly believe that it's just manipulating her. Like the line that he says where he's like, I mean, is it really protecting you, or does it just need you for a purpose, and it's only keeping you alive for that reason? Right. Which is a good point, but she doesn't hear what he says at all. She's just like, no, my baby, my baby, my baby, and she's never going to see past that point. I mean, and me and Adrian were discussing this last week, where it's like, yes, she lost a child, and so having that on her conscience or in her heart is essentially clouding everything, because for her it's her reclaiming this opportunity to have this child that she once lost. But at the same time, you have to realize that yes, everyone around her keeps telling her that it's not her child. It is a foreign being that used her as a vessel. She's nothing more than like a cocoon.
A cocoon.
A cocoon.
Yeah, she is a cocoon, and the butterfly has left the cocoon. And then that's very interesting how you bring that up about, when do people flip? Because Sparks was being manipulated by the alien, but then all of a sudden he flipped. He no longer saw his little girl in that one scene, and then his wife took him, allegedly, and then we realized that was one big evil ploy. But I thought that he was going to flip, and people were just going to get on the good side.
Right.
First him, then Molly. Probably not Yasumoto, but as long as you have two of the three, I feel like it'll work.
Right.
But both of them are very heavy into their ways of dependency on what this foreign being gives them.
Exactly. Yeah, that was a really big surprise, like him just being left there. Like, we know him to be kind of a flip-flopper, but yeah, the first thought would have been like, he would never leave Katie after all that he's done. Like, he's killed a bunch of people. He's fed it different people in horrible ways. Like, there's no way that he would have abandoned them or let them leave, for that matter. I mean, what surprised me most is Anya's dedication to the cause.
Yeah. Anya drank the Kool-Aid in 2 seconds flat.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I'm skeptical, got a lot of memories, I don't know if I should be here, I don't know why I'm here. Oh, hey, there's my child who I haven't seen in this form even when she was still alive.
Yeah.
Sold, hook, line, and sinker. And the child's talking creepier than Ethan, too.
Right. It's just like,
the fact that you can't look past that is...
I mean...
I guess I'll never know till an alien confronts me how hard it is.
Self-delusion is a powerful thing.
It is.
I feel like that is an overall... I guess theme throughout this whole thing is everyone is deluding themselves in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Like Yasumoto, Sparks, Anya, Molly, everyone except for Kern, because he's the man.
Kern is, he is kind of, he's interesting.
I mean, if this were a insane comedy, then he would be the straight man. He'd be the one being like, that's ridiculous. And we're all like, oh, we can relate because we also think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So I like that aspect. I don't know if he died when Sparks was making his escape, but...
Yeah, it's tough to say in these troubled times. I guess we'll have to wait till next week to know for sure.
Yeah.
But it looked like it could have just been a flesh wound.
That's true.
We can hope for the most.
Yeah, he just got knocked out a little bit. It's just a little blood, and it's still good.
He'll get up again.
Yeah.
Nobody can ever keep him down.
And so let's kind of get to the crux of the episode in which all parties meet. So we get Molly bringing in Yasumoto with the hopes of having the child. She has Sparks, and she uses him to lure Yasumoto in. We've got John using the vial to essentially as a playing card to make sure no one dies. They get Yasumoto in that interrogation chamber, and he tells us his backstory, all that stuff. And then you find out that Sparks has done the deed. So what was the deed, sir?
Well, Sparks somehow tricked him into thinking that he was not leading with his wife and his daughter anymore in the alien, but he was indeed. And then he was saying, Molly, but what have you done? After Molly accused him of doing something. And she was like, oh my gosh, did I do something? All of a sudden we see the spaceship coming back to, or the space station coming back toward wherever it's going. It's on
a meeting course with a French station,
which delivers
the Aruna.
The Aruna. Sparks' daughter is there. I'm thinking it's an alien of some sort.
Gotta be. Come on.
Yeah, it's gotta be. Okay, you're right. Now look at me. I'm getting delusional.
I'm
starting to believe it. Yeah, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. So yeah, probably an alien. Yeah. And then probably punching that assumption in the face is the fact that the next scene we see Anya dead-ish.
Yeah.
And the little creepy alien running through like the football gate is what it looked like.
I like that he was just kind of sauntering. He's just like, I did my mission.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys later.
Very not imposing either. It looks like a little squirrely thing.
Right. And all last week I was yelling, show me the alien, and it's just, and it was just like an outline. And I was like, all right, I can deal with that. So, I mean, and that was a great way of bringing everything together. It had been a lot of scattered pieces up until now.
Right.
But you finally get Yasumoto's history. You finally get a view of the alien. You finally know what its intent is for the most part. You know that it wants to bring back whatever was lost on the Aruna. You know? And so I'm excited for whatever comes next.
Yeah. Speaking of what comes next.
Predictions.
I think we'll go there.
And now, you're AFTERBUZZ
I like the light
TV.
effect with these predictions.
Yeah, right?
Really gets me in the mood to say some predictions.
Well,
you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Since you're in the mood.
In the mood. So anyway, I think that there are going to be three things going on. First of all, I'm still holding on to this aliens versus machines thing. And I think the Odin Ethan deal is going to come to a head in the next 2 episodes. I think we'll have another one where it's kind of like, oh, we don't know. And sort of at the worst time when you have the aliens getting together with the alien on Earth and whatever the remnant is in space, when they get together, I think you'll have a resurgence of, wait, we need the Ethans of the world to combat the aliens. That's really the crux of my prediction.
All right.
How that happens, I don't really know. And I had one other thing that I was going to say. I promise. It was amazing. Yasumoto, I think he's done.
Yeah.
I think because he's done his duty. He's been,
Yeah.
The alien's out. That was his fault. Now he can just
wither away.
Yeah. So I think he'll die. Okay. Unfortunately. Rest in peace.
Well, I mean, I agree. Like, he's definitely served his purpose. Like, before he was the big bad, and now we have this new...
a new big bad.
A new big bad. And so he's essentially fulfilled his purpose in giving us backstory, giving us a new direction, and essentially telling us what we needed to know in order to move on and combat this alien threat.
Right.
Which is cool. Piggybacking off of your aliens versus Ethan theory, I'm gonna assume that it'll be this kind of like Ethan is gonna sacrifice himself for everyone by using the bomb that's inside of him to destroy them.
Why didn't I think of that?
Because that's why you keep me around, is to elaborate on your theories.
Good call.
Because sacrifice is one of the most human things that you could do.
Oh, genius.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So that is the high point of my prediction.
Wow.
Yeah.
I really admire your prediction. I think that's fantastic.
It only exists because you do, sir.
Hey, it's symbiosis.
Yeah,
symbiosis. Symbiosis.
Symbiosis.
That's how seriously you should take anything I say. So I just call it symbiosis. Okay, cool. I like that.
Awesome. So thanks for joining us, guys. That has been Extant episode 11, A New World. Charlie, tell us where people can find you.
Yeah, well, you can find me on Twitter at Charlie Berens or Instagram also at Charlie Berens because I'm just so creative. And where can we find you?
Awesome. You can find me on Twitter at TauriJ. That's TaurijAY. You can also find me on Sundays on the Sword Art Online panel and on Wednesdays on the Doctor Who Classics panel. Awesome. So thanks for joining us and have a wonderful day, night, whenever you're watching this or listening.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.